shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone. It's Ken Eggleston. I want to welcome you to this INFINii update. I tell you guys, obviously coming out of the holidays, I know everybody's geared up and ready to go. I've been watching all the website traffic, talking with all the different leaders, and people couldn't be more excited from where we're at right now. So, one of the things that our CEO wanted to do was do a detailed update tonight. And this update is going to give you a clear picture of exactly where we are and where we're moving. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is see if our CEO is on. Hitesh, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Ken.
Awesome.
Awesome. And I see all these people on here, which, by the way, Happy New Year to everybody. And hopefully tonight will be a very, very Happy New Year for everyone. So I would really like to get right into the actual good stuff. And we're going to have both Ken go over some stuff, and then we're also going to have Kevin Hokoana, Chief Marketing Officer, go over things as well. If you guys can hear me fine, and if you can see on the screen a slide which says, "Welcome to INFINii Endless Possibilities," just say, "Yes, I can see the screen," or something to that effect so we can confirm that we're good to go ahead. Beautiful. All right, so thankfully, no technical issues. And let's dive right into it. Now, before I go through these statistics and go through where we are in things, I want to address a very critical factor. Vast majority of people, their view on any single topic, whether it be politics topics or economics or what's happening even in small things in life, is really shaped by the select small group of people around them and what they perceive is happening. So what's very important for me to do tonight, especially, is I've always said that we try to not get into the hype, we try to not get into things which are not provable. And what I'm going to do is just lay out the numbers for you. Okay, I'm just going to lay out the statistics, the actual facts, so you can actually look at that and just come to a conclusion about it yourself on where we actually stand. There are some horrible companies out there that do an exceptional job of marketing, so you never know how bad things are. There are some really good companies out there that don't do a very good job of communication, and sometimes you don't know how good things are. So hopefully what you're going to walk away with tonight is your own understanding of where INFINii is today and where we're headed. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to the numbers. So go ahead, Kev, if you want to move to the next slide, please. Commissions showing up tonight, and I'll explain why we had a small delay on that in a second. But here are the numbers from that. Okay, first of all, we have tens of people who have earned over $10,000 in these first 2 weeks. Okay, we have more than 20 people, and we'll have the exact number that we publish, and we'll announce all the people who did that. But we had over 20 people who actually qualified for directors, which is a $20,000 bonus, since they did it not just in their first 90 days, they did it in their first like 10 days. So it's incredible. And you have tens of people who have hit that, okay? In addition to that, we had over a 7-figure run, which if you don't recognize what 7 figures means, basically means that the first 2 weeks we had over 1 million BD generated in the system that's being distributed out here. Keep going, Kev. Okay, at the moment, we have over 1,000 people a day still joining, and now this is without replicated websites. And I'll explain why we did not put out the replicated websites yet. Obviously, because there are a lot of things internally that we want to make sure we're working really well, and we really want to scale this up the right way. And today we actually went through a pretty significant stress test with a DDoS and a couple other things to make sure that things were going really, really well. And that just worked beautifully. So now we're ready to move on. The next thing is really what I really want to talk about more than anything else is the actual numbers of our user base, which is our e-commerce users who have actually been creating listings using the advanced listing tool, who have been selling on eBay and Amazon and so on. And I'm only going to be giving you the numbers that have been tracked internally from our system. Okay, so just from within our system, the users who have been using the e-commerce system in the last 2.5 weeks generated over $500,000 in sales. Okay, now I can give you a little bit more specific numbers if you want as well. There were 57,000 plus listings created, of which 9,299, so basically 9,300 listings out of that actually sold a product. Okay, and on average, each listing that sold generated a $5.28 profit. So basically, forget the big number there. Okay, everybody can talk about the big number. In reality, our members generated almost $50,000 in net profits just from what was put out there. Okay, just from the listings that they created in the last 2.5 weeks, just from our software system in the back office. Now, many others went out and they've been using the shopping system, they've been selling things on Amazon. So that's additional numbers, and I'm not going to comment on those. Those might be way bigger, but I'm just giving you the numbers that we actually have and we actually track. So guys, that's money created without any recruitment in the system whatsoever. And that's so critical for you to understand, because that is the key difference between any MLM. Because in any MLM, you can find people, you can find a select group of people who are doing really, really well, right? Because they are active in the marketing side, which is great. Okay, and I don't want to malign that. A lot of people have started acting like that's somehow a bad thing, and it's not. That's their skill set. That's a beautiful thing that you can generate an income doing that. But vast with that. And this is the revenue generated by the vast majority of user base who are not out there necessarily recruiting aggressively. Many of these are brand new people who have been making sales for the first time in their life. Many of them are people who have already been selling on Amazon and eBay, and they've actually come out feeling really, really good about how well the system works. And we're going to be releasing a lot more here soon that we talk about. But over $500,000 in sales. This is in the first 2.5 weeks. Keep in mind, this is over the Christmas period. This is over a time when a lot of the people stopped really putting up listings. And because so many people started noticing that other people were doing this, our company is continuing to grow. We are still seeing over 1,000 people joining a day, which is by itself a pretty significant thing, because there is no way for them to sign up except through physical invitations. I think that says a whole lot about what's actually happening. In addition to that, people who partook in the initial batch of Springboard products, internal FBA products, we've been selling those, and we're selling nearly $1,000 a day worth of those on Amazon as well, internal. So we have just tremendous success, tremendous numbers, tremendous amount of good happening for both the partners in the company who have just hit one of the strongest pay run ever, and the average user in the company who is doing extremely well, focusing on the e-commerce side, and hopefully will also participate on the partner side at some point. So what does this basically mean? What this means is that in this beta pre-launch period, which quite frankly, we didn't know what all to expect. We obviously came across some technical challenges and some scaling challenges, and we worked with those, and we'll address that in a second. But we are head and shoulders beyond and ahead of basically any established company currently. I mean, even established companies that have been around for years don't see numbers like this. And for us, it's not a matter of, oh, look at our numbers, this is great, we're going to make all this money. It's more about these numbers indicate there is a real demand for a model like this, which does not rely on pure recruitment all the time. Okay, so that is very, very exciting to see, and that is something that we are going to keep encouraging. And there's a lot more that's going to come out now as we move from this beta period into our live pre-launch period. You're going to see a lot of tremendous things happening. So move on to the next slide, please, Kevin. So we're going to move out of this beta pre-launch, and we're going to move into a live pre-launch starting January 15th. Now, there's a bunch of software rollouts that are going to happen. Let me walk you through some of them quickly. The first thing we're going to release is our product research system. So right now, as you go through the training, it teaches you how to find the right products to select, and then to go ahead and sell them on eBay using our advanced listing creator. The new software rollout, the first piece is the product research system, where instead of you going out there and trying to figure out which products sell well, you'll be able to type in a word and it's going to show you what products are selling the best, what products qualify and have the right criteria, and you can simply click a button and we'll create a listing for the product. Okay, it's going to simplify the process even more, make the process even faster, and hopefully see a whole lot of success coming out of that. You're also going to see a lot of other pieces of software coming out, especially for our international members. We are actually rolling out our advanced listing creator for Bonanza, which is Google Shopping Network. So you'll be able to create listings in the same, with the same ease and the same power that you do for eBay. You'll be able to create listings on Bonanza as well. We're currently in test mode with that, and that's going to be coming out and hopefully make life a lot easier on our international members. In addition to that, we'll be starting up our masterclass series. The masterclasses are basically going to be twice a week special session, which is going to walk you through the entire process, through all the different aspects of becoming an e-commerce expert. It's going to take you all the way through. At the end of the 6 weeks, you are essentially going to be a trained expert on it, and then you will be able to take the e-commerce certification exam. And that examination is where we are actually going to be hiring out of as well. So as a company, we're going to hire some people who take the e-commerce examination and obviously score the best and have shown to have some success. We're going to be hiring as a company from there, as well as we're going to be giving you the certification, which will allow you to work at a much higher level with people when you're in freelancing or anything like that. And keep going, Kev.
Master classes. So we're sitting on master classes here, Hitesh. I'm not sure if we want to talk about that, but these are going to be integral. These are going to be huge for you guys as we roll out master classes, because you're going to have the opportunity and the ability to learn from the best, right? One thing I want to just say before we move on is the master classes on the affiliate side as well. I'm looking forward to doing some of those. So it's going to be something we're going to talk about on our affiliate call, but master classes for affiliates as well is going to blow you guys away.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and guys, again, to clarify this part, because we get questions about it, the software rollouts that we're talking about currently, the master classes that we're talking about, these are not extra costs. These are not extra products. These are simply there to help you get the best results out of what you already have. Okay, so you don't need to pay extra for it. It's simply going to be an additional thing to help you get to the successful point that you need to get to. Okay, so you don't worry about, is it going to be an extra cost? It's just there to make you successful. Okay. And obviously, even if you're a partner and you're somebody who is focused more on building an organization here, you want that to be the case, because that means that anybody you bring in goes through the masterclass process is going to be a lot more successful in the e-commerce world, and therefore is going to generate a whole lot of more business volume for you as well. So you're going to see a lot of that coming out of this too. So as we continue to move out of the beta movement to the live pre-launch, you're going to see a lot of very, very strong things come out of that. And I'm personally very excited about it, obviously. I think everybody's very excited about it, I hope. So who here is excited about the master classes coming out and us actually moving into the live version with all of the more fancy stuff? Beautiful. Awesome. So everybody's excited. See, this is great. Now, the other question I want to address very quickly is about the binary payouts. If you guys would go ahead and just refresh your payout request page, you will actually see your binary payouts on there. And hopefully many of you will be very excited, because there are a lot of people who earned very, very strong incomes from that. And just go ahead and refresh the page if you don't see it yet, but you will see it there. And even if you don't see it right now, it will be there within the next, by the time this webinar ends, you'll be able to see it on there. But just make sure that you understand this is only over the first 2 weeks. You actually have a whole month left after that. And really, you should be looking at this as your motivation to continue building and where you're going to go from there. Now, the next thing that I really want to address is one particular thing that has always been on our mind, which is ensuring profitability for everybody as quickly as possible. So we have always had a very strong focus on making sure that the average person who is not going to go out and recruit 200 people making sure that they are able to hit profitability as quickly as possible. Okay, so here is how that works. Okay, if you want to move on to the next slide, I can explain. So what we've come out with, and this is something that we held off on announcing on purpose because this is something we really wanted to go through, is what we call the accelerated beginner bonus. Now, the first rendition of the beginner bonus that we presented was designed to help you get to break even in about, you would get 2 sales, maybe 3 sales, and could get you to break even. There was no guarantee there. Now we actually went ahead and created a version of it, which can get you to profitability in a single sale. Okay, just from one sale, it can actually get you to break even or profitability.
If you want to move, before you go past that, before you go past that, I really want everyone to understand exactly what you said. Say that one more time. You can break even with how many sales?
Like I said, just with one sale, and that's why I wanted to see this, because it makes so much more sense for the scene.
I just wanted everyone to get that and let that sink in for a second. You can break even with how many sales? You guys put it in the chat. How many sales can you break even with in the new Fast Start? How many sales? Okay, thank you.
Wait, hold on. I want to be careful here. Okay.
I'm just excited about that.
One, I didn't say. Okay, but I didn't say that you'll break even about sale. I said you can break even or even be profitable. Okay, so there's a difference there. You can actually profit as well.
Yeah. Okay. So. Well, there's a lot of cussing in the chat room in a positive manner, so please refrain from cussing, but I appreciate the excitement.
Yes, and we also don't want to know about any potential bodily function issues. So please, let's go ahead.
Okay.
So Kev, if you want to open that slide, I would really like to show this very quickly.
Can you see this right here? The baby generator? You got that?
Not yet.
We're still showing the live pre-launch, Kev.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do something. There we go. I'm going to refresh this. Can you see it now?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
All right, so here's how this plan works. Makes it so much faster for you guys to get where you need to get, and actually gives you a very strong pathway and a roadmap basically to getting to that $20,000 mark within your first 30 days. That's really kind of the goal, to chart out a roadmap to it. So okay, here's what that means. Let's say that I am a partner, okay, maybe I'm just a Prime user, maybe I'm just a Surge user. I go ahead and refer Kevin. Now, Kevin, being the regal, imperial, elegant, Japanese military person that he is, says, I'm going to go for this really in a big way. I'm going to be really successful right out the gate. So he goes Excel, okay? So he purchases Excel. So now, immediately from that one sale, I have generated 400 business volume. I'm going to get a $100 bonus immediately, and I'm also going to get my $60 fast start because he joined as Excel, which means I just generated $160 from that one sale. So if I'm a Prime user, which I was, I just made $160 while my own cost was $50. Even if I was a Surge member, I would have just broken even because my cost was $150 and I just made $160. So you see that very quickly for at least 2/3 of the users, you can very quickly get to profitability in this case within your first 30 days just from one affiliate sale, just from one sale, online, offline. However you do it as a partner, you can get to that level very, very quickly. Okay, now this is obviously better than 100% commission or something like that because it's not dependent on you doing a whole lot. It's really dependent on you just being able to generate one sale. Okay. Now let's say you were Excel level or higher. If you get to 800 business volume, again, this can be any combination. It could be 2 Excel users. It could be an Excel user with 2 Surge users and 2 Prime users. You can have all sorts of different combinations. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. There are no special restrictions on it. when you hit 800 business volume within your first 30 days from personal sponsors, you will receive a $200 payout. And then at 1600 business volume, you get a $400 payout. So essentially, this gives you a very, very clear, distinct pathway, a defined pathway to get to break even or profitability right out the gate. And you don't have to worry about, well, what if there is this much business volume and what if there's that much from the pool? So instead of defining it as a pool, we really went out, we said, even though this is money out of our pocket, okay, this is so much stronger and so much easier for the average person to do. So who thinks that this is possibly the most exciting thing they've seen on the MLM side ever?
Yeah, and while you guys are tossing that in there, I want you to keep in mind that such a move made to make more money. But here's the thing: the beginner accelerated beginner bonus that we had didn't really make any sense. It didn't make sense to a lot of people. It made it hard for you guys to go out there and explain. And now you have something that's so much easier and just a lot more profitable. So I'm excited about this. This is crazy, and we're gonna, a lot stronger. And this,
stronger.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I think we're both just excited, Hitesh. And I'll tell you, we're going to be doing another webinar that we'll talk about here in a minute for you guys. For anyone who's a partner, we're going to go over all this stuff in detail, as well as a lot of marketing stuff for you guys too this week on a webinar. We'll talk more about that in a minute. So, yeah.
Now let's talk about another side of this too, which is if you are not yet a director, okay, if you're less than a director yet, you're one of the managers, and in your PET, okay, new volume is generated of 2,500 business volume, you get an additional $250. Or if 10,000 business volume was generated in your entire person enrollment tree, not by yourself necessarily, but just by everybody in your person enrollment tree, in new business volume, you would get a $1,000 bonus, for example. So you can see the scale over here. What really, in reality, you can do this within the first 30 days as well. You can actually combine both of them in your first 30 days, and many people will actually see themselves making $1,000 or $1,400 or something very high because of this. Okay, again, the whole idea is to get you guys into very strong profitability as quickly as possible, so you can focus on building your business without having to worry about, oh, I haven't broken even yet. What is my next step? What should be my next step? And that's really the confusion we want to clear up. Your next step is right here, depending on what your income level goal is. Now, here is the way usually companies, now again, I want to clarify one thing. You guys, I'm just giving you the numbers here. We are all just giving you the numbers here. You make your own choice and make your own decision on it. But the critical thing here is that you can figure out logically if this is a better system than anything else that you've seen. Regardless of whether it is not, or whether it is or whether it's not, most companies, if they ever came out with something like this, which they don't, but if they did, they would say something like, so now this is better and forget about the past, moving on. Okay, now we want to make sure that everybody gets profitability, right? So here's what we're going to do, which is pretty extreme. I don't think most people have done this yet. We were advised, oh, this might not be a good thing to do, but we think it's actually fair and a pretty good way to go about it. So again, if you want to move to the next slide, what we're going to do is apply this retroactively. So if you did it already in the last 30 days, you're not going to miss out on anything. We will still add this to your accounts if you achieve this. If this happened in the system, and we know it happened for tens and tens of people, just looking at the numbers that we've looked at, we're actually going to add this to your back offices as well. We're going to announce the people who qualified on the 7th, and then on the 15th of the month, we're going to actually add this to your back offices. We're going to add your director bonuses to your back offices, and so on and so forth. So you're going to actually see this happen and be done for you in a retroactive manner as well. So this is not just something going forward. This is something that we're going to give to you if you've already achieved it. And then we're going to also do this going forward. Okay? So hopefully you guys can see where our heart is and what we are trying to do for you.
Look, okay. So I want everyone to understand what just happened here. We basically went against our own comp plan and said, no, we're just going to pay it out. Okay. Basically, we just went back and said, we know what the comp plan says. We know how we built this whole thing, but forget about that. We're going to pay it, and we're going to pay it retroactive for the, you know why? Do you guys know why? I want you guys to put in there why. And I want you to look at yourself when you say this. Why do you think we would go back and say, here you go, here's a bonus that we shouldn't even be paying out? Why? Because you guys have been amazing. The leaders have came to us and they've made suggestions at every turn, and you're going to see how we've acted on those suggestions. You're going to see how we're following your leaders out in the field to make sure that you guys have everything they want. And this has been in the back of their minds, and they've asked about it as well. So the credit for this doesn't just go to us. All right, this goes to everyone out there in the field who's been helping their people, helping their organizations to build teams. So call your sponsor up tonight and thank them. All right, even if they didn't have a part in this, call them up, because in some way they did. All right, guys. So we're just excited for the leadership that's here, and this is kind of our way of saying thank you to the field and what you guys are doing and how you guys are building, and our family here at INFINii. So, okay, I'm going to shut up for a minute and let you finish what you were going with, Hitesh. But it's really cool. This is just
absolutely. Now, here's why this is so critical. So I want to address this from the average person's perspective, because if you have a big following, if you're people like Kevin or I, or actually pretty much anybody on the corporate side, you have big lists, you can achieve pretty big numbers in almost any compensation plan. Here's why a compensation plan is so critical. Okay, and this is truly coming from the perspective of I want the average person to do well. Okay, the average person who comes in and is going to focus on the e-commerce side and is going to be successful on it. Okay, on average, our members do quite well. Okay, in addition to that, once they start doing well, they have a genuine nature. They'll share this. They will share the information. They're going to go out and say, I'm selling stuff on eBay and I'm doing well with it. Okay, it is very important for us to be able to reward to the average person that they can actually make a significant income here. Okay, there are multiple sources of income that are built into this. You can sell on eBay, on Amazon. You're going to be producing your own products if you want. And on top of that, we have the partners program, and then you're going to be releasing all those additional satellite modules, right? Like digital and freelancing and so on. But you have all of these different pieces. And for us, it's very critical to develop a system in such a way that the average person can participate in all of it and have success in all of it. So this is a much stronger way for the average person to make a lot more money. It is also going to get them to profitability very quickly. It is also going to make sure that the people who are working with you are going to do very well. Okay, so this ties in with what Ken is going to be talking about a little bit, and he's going to go over that in a lot more detail when we have the partner webinar here. So Ken will give you the details. But when we come out with that, the roadmap is basically going to walk you guys through how to begin with this and get to the $20,000 a month bonus in your first 90 days or so. All of us on this call, every single person on this call is on here because they understand that they want to be able to succeed on e-commerce side, maybe on the partner side. And most of you have one focus. You've decided, I'm going to focus on this thing and do the other one on the side. That's how it's going to be. So we are trying to make sure that you have an option on either side that gets you to profitability very, very quickly. Okay, that's what this is all about. Now, I'm going to pass this to Ken in a second. Okay, I'm going to address a few questions very quickly as well. So some of the questions that will actually pop up, okay, how does the payout process work? How quickly will you get these payouts, and so on and so forth. So let me give you the dates on everything. Every 7th of the month, we do the calculations for the last month, and you will receive the payouts on the accelerated beginner bonus kind of stuff. You will get the elevation rank bonuses like the director bonus. All of that stuff is announced on the 7th and is paid out on the 15th. Okay, that's the flow that you will get. You're trying to catch the rhythm of it. Now, currently, this is our first month actually announcing these and actually putting them out there. So be a little patient with us as we try to work through all of that stuff. We want to make sure that it's very stable going forward. So it takes a little bit of time sometimes finalizing that. Now on the binary payout side, it took us a little bit of extra time getting those numbers out there. The reason it took us a little bit of extra time is specifically because we removed the caps from it. Since this was the first pay run, we wanted to make sure that people actually got the right value out of it. I mean, we could put the caps, and that's basically what every company does. You have caps in place so the company makes more money. We remove those caps, so when you go in there and you check your numbers, even though you shouldn't be allowed to make 5-figure earnings. You will be able to make that. Okay, that's the big reason why it took us a little bit longer to test everything out. If you've noticed any tech issues, like the site going down a little bit and stuff like that, that's simply because we are moving out of the beta phase. So we've actually been upgrading a lot of things in the background, getting some things set up on the technical side. All of that is just to make sure that when we move out on the 15th, it's such a smooth sailing system going forward. That's going to be very, very strong. Third, a question about what happens to the Springboard product. So every week to 2 weeks, we're going to be putting out our own internal FBA products like we did in the beginning. We're going to be putting out more of them. We have the next batch coming out. It's going to be about 4,000 to 5,000 products. We're going to put that out. Those will be put out in batches every once in a while. You get in there, you purchase those, you start using them, because these are very, very select products. We nitpick them, we grab them ourselves. At the same time, you have these third-party products that you do need to put a lot of research into. Make sure that you have watched the training videos first to understand how to select the best products that will actually sell for you. Don't just keep going in there and buying products without thinking about it or without looking at the training. It's such minimal effort that you have to put in, but you do have to put in that minimal effort. Okay. If you come across any issues right now, if you look at something, you're like, oh, I don't know if this number is right, I don't know if my calculation is right, go ahead and send us a support ticket. We are all here all through the night. We'll be taking a look at it, making sure that everything is right. So that's basically where we are with things. At this point in time, in the beta version, in the pre-launch, over the worst month in network marketing, whatever, of their time frame, we have some of the strongest numbers in the history. We have average users actually making money on the e-commerce side to the tune of $500,000. And we have tremendous number of partners succeeding because the model is so strong. Now going forward, we're going to be releasing all the additional things, such as your replicated websites, which is not just going to be a simple replicated website, but rather a very wonderful, high-converting sales funnel that you can use whatever your target audience is. So what I'm going to do is just pass this whole thing on to Ken and Kevin and have them explain to you the context of these things and what you need to do next. Okay, so Ken, and I'm really looking forward to you actually posting that particular video up as well, because I really want to see how people react to it. So go right ahead, Ken and Kevin, if you just want to take over and explain where we are.
Absolutely,
All right.
Hitesh. Appreciate it. Guys, the first thing is, as I sat here and watched this and worked with Hitesh and Kevin and the other members of the executive team on this new accelerated beginner bonus structure. I mean, as most of you know, I've been in the industry over 20 years and have written comp plans for well over the last 10 years now for companies. And what I listened to when I was listening to Hitesh and Kevin talk tonight is you've got founders that are sitting there and company owners that are pushing maximum cash into the field, and not just a one-time thing. This accelerated bonus is now going to create the quickest acceleration of financial gain by the individuals who are taking the time to spread this INFINii out to the masses, the game-changing platform that's here. And I was actually talking with one leader 2 days ago, and he was kind of chuckling with me. And we'd been top producers in AdvoCare previously, and he was chuckling with me about some of the challenges, that we've gone through in different IT times and different companies. And, those of us that have been in the industry a long time, if you ever go through a pre-launch, especially in a beta phase, you expect certain things. And some people will actually fall out during that beta launch period. And it's such a shame to see that happen because, they end up missing out on the tremendous amount of energy that's coming with a company. And as I look to INFINii, I actually had somebody call me and mention, and Kevin, you might be surprised about this, but I had a guy that called me and said, look, I'm going to take a pass on this. There's a couple of IT glitches and I'm just going to move on. I was like, really? You're actually going to move on to something else when nothing else in the industry is stable or working, and you've got the opportunity now to do this? And I know that probably tomorrow, Kevin, his phone will be ringing because people that were in his downline and other builders will be seeing this new bonus system. We'll have gone through all this that's been paid out, and it is just enough to blow your mind. So everybody that's sitting on here, this is beyond exciting, especially because, in just the next couple of days, as Kevin's going to go over, the replicated sites, all the other pieces coming together. And it's just an honor to be able to, and I know I speak for the other members of the executive team, it's an honor to be able to work with owners of a company that actually, for lack of a better term, give a damn about the reps in the field. So to both of you, thank you. And Kevin, any thoughts on where you want to jump to next?
Oh yeah, thanks. And I appreciate it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk some affiliate stuff. I shouldn't say that, some partner stuff. So we're going to do a couple things. Actually, before I get into that, I want to do something. I want to show you guys something that I've done. So while we were on the webinar, can you guys all hear me? Hop in the chat, let me know. I'm going to go fairly quick because we're going to have a whole nother webinar. We're going to go through a lot of this stuff. But right now, oh, beautiful, beautiful. So right now on our fan page, I'm going to post this in the chat for everybody. There we go. So everyone's got this link. This is just simply on our fan page, okay, the INFINii fan page. And what you'll see is a new video sitting here. And I posted this during the webinar for you guys to take a look at. And it's, I think you're really going to like it. I would really love to see you guys go over here. Maybe not right now, but definitely, keep this on your to-do list for as soon as possible, and watch it, and then smash that like button right in the face. Okay. And just let people know you're here and that you've watched it and what your thoughts on it. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you want to see more of it? What do you want here? Because this, I love this video. And the more I watch it, the more I love it. And I watch it a lot because I really love it. So just hop on over there and check it out. And also, I'm going to show you what I'm already doing with this video. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and you guys can, it's right here, endless possibilities, hashtag it, whatever you need to do. What I did with this video, and we're going to go over this on a webinar, but what I did with this video is I put it on a registration link for a webinar that we're having on Thursday, January 7th at 9 p.m. Now, I know we sent out an email saying that we're going to be having one on Wednesday and then another one on Thursday. We're changing that schedule around because I want to do something. And I'm going to send you an email on the schedule, but we're changing it around. We're actually going to have an affiliate call on Wednesday. And on Thursday, we're going to have an opportunity webinar, all right? And you'll be able to send people to a link that looks just like this, where they can register for the webinar. That video that you see on Facebook will be playing here, along with a bunch of Facebook comments from our awesome members. And your prospects can register. Now, this is on a GoToWebinar webinar, okay? We're having it on a GoToWebinar, but this is the registration page that I created, and I'll tell you why I created this. Because when your prospects go ahead and go to the link that you have in your back office, when they put in their name, email, their first name, last name, and email address to register for the webinar, they're just going to go to a simple thank you page, which is a lot more elegant than your GoToWebinar. Would you guys agree that this is a little bit better than the average GoToWebinar registration page? Yeah, definitely. So what happens now is we're able to follow up with them. We're able to follow up with your prospects on your behalf and send them out your links. And there's a huge power in following up with folks. I'm going to show you some of my results personally right now. And then I'm going to show you on the affiliate webinar some results that we're going to dig into on that webinar. So this will be a capture page that you'll have. You'll have multiple capture pages that you can send traffic to if you so choose. You'll also have a sales page that looks like this. Who here has gotten this sent to them? Just let me know. Has anyone seen this? You guys are probably, I'm sure some of you have seen this because I think it leaked out. Okay, great. I'm glad it's a not yet because I made some changes to it. So this is going to be a presentation that is really powerful for the online world. It starts with some testimonials and then it goes into mainly a PowerPoint slide. It's designed for a lot of online sales, okay? That video that we just posted on Facebook is typically designed for, hey, do you have a couple minutes? Take a look at this. And then after they take a look at it, you send them to a webinar. The question becomes, what webinar? The webinar that we're going to have on Thursday. That'll be a recording that'll be on a page that you guys can use over and over and over again. So there's a very specific game plan on this, and the game plans that I run have a lot to do with getting results, okay? There's a lot of misconceptions in marketing and what people think work and they don't work, they don't know. Well, let me show you some of my personal results. And I took some snapshots of DS domination, because as you know, DS domination is very similar in the way you can promote it. And this is a time frame from the 11th of September to the 23rd of September. What is that, like 20, 30 signups there, right? And that's in a day and a week time frame, right? 12 days, 2 weeks. I mean, how many people would like to be able to have those kind of results where you learn right over my shoulder how I did that? Is that interest anybody? Okay. Let me show you something else. This is December. Now in December, I wasn't marketing, or at least I didn't think I was. And let me show you what was happening. And this is stuff we're going to cover again on the partners webinar. But this happened in December for really no apparent reason. Right? I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 signups here. And I want to show you where those came from. And then on this partner webinar, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how I did that and how that cost me a couple dollars. So I'm just going to go over real quick to YouTube. And if you know me, guys, I just like to go out on the internet and do stuff. So I'm going to type in, make money online or something. I'm just going to hit enter. Oh, nope, didn't pop up. Let's do home-based business. Let's take a look at that. See this ad right here? You guys see this? The result that popped up? You guys seeing this right here? This first YouTube video? Okay. This video is where these signups came from. And I forgot it was running, but it only cost me a couple dollars a day to have that happening. And it resulted in passive signups. Okay. Passive signups. I didn't talk to them. All right. I didn't talk to them. I didn't get on the phone with them. I didn't speak with them. They joined. And I'm going to show you guys how we can do that. How you guys are going to be able to do that as well. Because there's one problem that everybody is going to face on this call. And everyone who's a partner is going to face this. Eventually you run out of what we call warm market. In every opportunity, you always go into warm market and you can build fast with that. But what happens is the warm market ends up going away. You kind of have no one left to talk to. And so what I want to do is teach you guys how to get some warm market. While you're building your business now, I want to be able to extend the success you guys are having. I mean, 20 plus people hitting the rank of director. What is that? In 2 weeks flat? Well, let's continue that. Let's teach you guys how to do that. So very excited about that stuff. And so I want to give you something right now. Here's what I want to give you. I want to give you a link to a webinar. I'm going to post this. I'm going to send this out to an email, but I'm going to give it all to you right now. And this link is to a webinar that we're going to have that you can just simply go register for. And it is for the partners orientation. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk through all the pages. We'll have we'll have sales funnels and capture pages and sales pages for you guys live during that webinar. We're going to walk through what they mean and where you would use them, and just do our first orientation so you guys know what these links do, where to use them, and how you can get people on board immediately. Okay, so you guys excited about that? What do you think about that? Running a partners only webinar, run through some of this stuff. I'll show you guys where I'm doing some marketing. Actually, I'll show you something else too. And I don't want to get too far into this because not everyone on here is potentially a partner. But let me show you one more thing real quick, something that I'm looking forward to showing you guys. Here's some advertising that I did. And tell me if you're interested in this. This is cost per action. These are leads. Okay. I was getting leads for 70 cents, and even cheaper than that. 51 cents, 56 cents, 70 cents, right? So this is where it all begins, is with that lead generation and the follow-up and all the things that are in place. Okay, that I'm going to show you guys and we have for you in place with INFINii to go ahead and build. So what do you guys think of all that? For those of you who are on the partner side of the house, is that exciting? Is that stuff exciting? Yeah, Cool. So I'm going to show you one.
Can I make a really quick point? I just want to make a very, very important point. Regardless of whether you're interested in the partner side or not interested in the partner side whatsoever, okay, that's completely beyond point. You have to understand that all business really can be broken down into two very simple things. Okay, it's just two simple things. It's generating traffic to a sales page. That's it. When you make a listing on eBay, what do you think you're actually doing? Your listing is a sales page for a product, and eBay generates the traffic for you. Okay, that's basically why it is so exciting, because the traffic generation part, which is such a mystery and so difficult for most people, is taken away. eBay does that for you, Amazon does that for you. And your sales page is very easy because you're literally just describing a product that the people want. That's it. Okay, what you're doing in e-commerce is the exact same thing that happens on the partner side as well, when you're building the business as a partner. So if you're on here going, well, I'm really not into recruiting right now, I'm more for the e-commerce, what you are actually getting right now is the same principle that you can apply to your e-commerce business. In fact, if you focus on the training, especially in Surge and Excel, when you learn more details about how to make your listing perform better, how to get more sales from your e-commerce side, it's actually the same principles. It's actually the same stuff. So this is the kind of stuff that you do want to understand. You do want to know, how do I target my right buyer? How do I define everything in a way that actually appeals to them? How do I make sure that they actually see my listing above somebody else's? How do I make sure that they actually like my product and purchase it from me? All of that stuff. And what Kevin is talking about here is all about doing the stuff passively, right? You're doing it passively in the sense that you are not talking with them, you're not trying to pitch it to them, you're not doing a hard sale. That's the same thing you're doing on the e-commerce side. You are not doing a hard sale, you're just describing the thing and putting it up there, and somebody else is generating the traffic for you. In this scenario, you actually understand, oh, here's how I get Bing to generate the traffic for me, MSN or Microsoft. Or how do I get YouTube to generate the traffic for me? Or how do I get whoever to generate the traffic for me? It's the same principle applied to a side of business that most people actually don't. Most people think recruiting is about chasing friends and family. That needs to be a small component in an overall grand scheme of things, where you're going to do so much better if you understand these things. Okay, so don't turn your mind away and go, oh, I don't need to hear about this because this is about recruitment or this is about building your partner business. This is the same principle that is behind all business, regardless of if it's e-commerce or if it's this or if it's selling insurance or if it's in water, whatever it is, at the end of the day, that's basically what it boils down to. So please pay attention to him. Kevin is one of the best experts on a lot of the stuff. And you are getting like really, really important high-level education right now. And I don't want you guys to turn away from that thinking, oh, this is about something that doesn't apply, because it definitely applies. So go ahead, Kevin.
Beautiful, thank you. So I want to keep this under an hour. So I've got about 9 more minutes, and I want to show you guys something real quick. And I think you're going to like this. This is something that that Hitesh cooked up. That's, there you go. You should see my screen now. That you will love. I think you'll love this. This is what the new back office of INFINii will look like. And who likes the color? Actually, who doesn't like the color? Just pop in here and say, I don't like the color, or I do. Let me know. You guys love it? Does anyone not like the color? Okay, so let's go ahead and change that. So if you don't like the back office, you can just change it. Okay, which is, I thought is for me is brilliant, because I can already get in here and customize things, and that's what kind of a lot of this represents, is being able to have a business that works for you. Even if you don't want to sell on eBay, that's fine. Go ahead and sell on Amazon. You want to dabble in it, but you want a lot of your money to come from the partner side. Fine, have at it. So there's so many different ways, there's so many different possibilities. It only seemed fitting that you had a back office that you could just go ahead and change the color on and change how the layout is. I mean, that to me is just phenomenal. But I'll tell you what else is really cool. A lot of people get in, and a lot of folks that you'll see will sign up and they'll say, oh, I'm in INFINii, and they'll take a step and they'll go, I can't do this, right? In everything that we do, there are people that are going to do that. So what I love is that right here on the homepage, right here in the dashboard, are these scrolling testimonials. So you can pop those up and take a look and see what other people are currently doing with this system. I mean, is that not cool? To be able to just look in the back office and see what other folks are doing and that they're actually having success with this, along with all your stats right there on the dashboard. Right there on the dashboard. All the news, the events, the things that we do, right there in front of you. Hitesh, was that you or was that Ken?
No, that's me. You know, it's funny. Coming from the network marketing side, you know, we always see 95% of the company, you know, really not making any money because they're not building teams. And this kind of answers that question for so many of those people that end up, you know, getting in and then thinking, well, I can't do it or whatever, and they end up washing out. Because here they're able to look at the screen and see all these different people succeeding and seeing the success stories. And this is one of the best things possible to have in a back office, because that person who's just getting in and who's not sure needs that reassurance. I don't care if you're part of a weight loss club, if you're going to the gym, working out with other people. People like camaraderie. They like to see other people succeed because it also reassures them and gives them the belief that they can do it too. So this, in effect, is a massive team building effort so that they know they're not alone and other people are succeeding so they can too. And it's just kind of like a booster shot in their eyes every time they log into the back office. Great job in putting this in.
Oh yeah, this is all Hitesh all the way. I thought it was brilliant. I about fell down when I saw this. And what else? You know, another thing that I love. The whole back office will be different, right? When you go in and look at the training, the whole layout and how it's kind of structured and how it flows is just nice and clean. You know, you guys will be able to get back there and play around with this stuff, obviously, very soon. But I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm really excited, and I love that I can customize a little bit, you know, and do whatever I want with it. There's a couple folks that said, oh, I'm not concerned with colors, but the layout's awesome. And so I think it has a little bit for everybody, right? So just really cool to be able to do that. So I'm excited about this. I love the new back office, and I love what you guys are going to, love to see what you guys are going to do with this and how you're going to, you know, do this on either presentations or, hey, does it just feel better to being back here and learning in this environment, you know? So I'm excited for that. So two things before I kind of stop here. Number one, let me come back over to Facebook here. Number one, hop on over and go ahead and watch this video. Check it out. Smash that like button for me. Leave me a comment. You know, let us know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you guys think of this. Hashtag it down there. Tag a sponsor. Tag a friend. Let them see it. Let them check this out. Because I think that this video, John did a phenomenal job. That's actually John's voice, believe it or not. And I thought it was great. So love it, and it's going to be perfect right where it's going to sit. And we'll talk about more of this on Thursday. But yeah, it's going to, or I should say Wednesday. It's going to be perfect sitting on this page when you guys get your hands on this and you're able to see this and watch people register and get people in your business. I think you'll love it. So grab this link one more time. I'm going to toss this link out to you guys. This is for the partners webinar. For those of you who are interested in getting an orientation on that, watching all of this stuff take fold, and we'll build it out.
Yeah, Kev, I tell you what, I think the field as a whole, I mean, looking at the numbers that were just produced from December 4th through the 18th, looking at this payout, looking at, you said and mentioned 20 people collecting the director bonus, of course, since it's within the first 90 days, let alone the first 2 weeks of a period, that are collecting $20,000 a piece. There's so many people right now in this. They see the binary money in their back office, see the fast starts. If they're sitting there with a pen and paper, they're calculating this new accelerated beginner bonus model. There is nothing out there that can match the opportunity that's in front. And again, it's because we've got a 70% payout on a 1-to-1 point dollar ratio on the platform memberships that are just blowing this out the door. So when you're looking at that, BV, guys, realize, if it's 150 for a surge membership, That's 150 BV going into the system. And it doesn't even have anything to do with all the other pieces of the puzzle that are coming into play. On Wednesday night, when I go over a direct roadmap, a blueprint on how you can go ahead and get to that director within 90 days or so, and get to that point where you see within 6 months you're at a $10,000 residual just out of the rewards plan. It doesn't even count any of the e-commerce stuff. And Kevin, when I'm dealing with Carly and a lot of the other people that are behind the scenes on the executive staff on the e-commerce side, and you take a look, this is going to change. That's why the network marketers that have come into serious, multiple seven-figure yearly earners that are coming to the plate right now and are looking at this going, hey, this is where I plan on sticking and staying, because there is no other real deal out there that can do what this can do, besides the fact that I can build a massive network marketing income and I can build a massive e-commerce. It's a 2-for-1, kick it through the goalpost, game-changing plan for this industry, Kev.
It really is. And, it's funny. And I don't know if it's just me. And I think, I think you've seen it and you feel it. When we did our events and when we're on webinars, when we get to just do calls with a lot of our family here, we have some amazingly awesome people here. Like, I haven't seen this in other companies. Like, I haven't seen this caliber of people. I don't know. So I'm guys, gals, I'm just excited to be here. I'm glad that you're here, and I can't wait to see where we're going to take this, because it's just going to keep getting faster and faster and better and better. And the launch, if you felt like it kind of dragged on forever and it took a little bit of time, just know that that everything we do is all in-house. So everything that we do now that kind of feels like a and we don't have to go submit a support ticket to anyone, ask permission if they can get a code or maybe possibly take a look at it and get it done. We can just do it. So this pre-launch moving forward, and moving INFINii out into the world, if you think this is a short-term play for you, if you're just looking for a couple months or weeks or even a year, then this is not where you want to be. If you're ready to plant your flag and get behind something and get behind a community that's going to grow and take shape and just fan out and take over this industry in 2016 for a billion reasons, then you're in the right place. So, do me a favor, and I'm getting all excited. Who here is in the right? Are you guys in the right place? Just hop in the chat and let me know. Are you here? And is this the right place to be? Look at that. I wish I could snapshot that. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Look at that chat, Ken. Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't even want to end the webinar now. I just want to see this keep going. Look at it. You guys are awesome. Jamie, you rock.
I just want to make one very, very important point before we close out. So over the last, like we gave you the numbers, over the last 4 weeks, there has been clearly, yes, there were technical challenges, and clearly there were other things. And I don't know if there's this perception that, they don't care, the corporate doesn't care. We literally will go days without sleep to make sure that we get the stuff done, okay? So that's not what's going on here. However, there is a difference in attitude. There are people during that same time frame who just produced over $500,000 in sales, okay? The same time that some people said, oh, nothing is working, I can't do anything, you had other people generating 5-figure incomes on the partner side and generating 5-figure incomes on the e-commerce side. This is just like general advice. Even when Kevin was talking about, I saw a comment, I just want to address this. I saw a comment in the chat where somebody said, well, I'm not into recruiting, so I don't need to listen to this stuff. That is the difference. If you would just pay attention to what you have and try and use it, you would get so much more success out of what's already there. If you keep waiting and waiting and waiting for the perfect thing. For example, there are people who are still waiting. Oh, if we had replicated websites, I totally get it. I'm a marketer. I know the importance of it, and we get it out there. But during that same time period, everybody else was on the same playing field. There are people who created 5-figure incomes for themselves as partners, and not necessarily just people who are not brand new. Some of these are brand new people who didn't come in with massive followings, and they've still generated very strong incomes. So make sure that you use what's there over the next few days, actually the next 10 days or so. We're going to be working very hard as we transition onto a new back office, we transition into the live version out of the beta, and so on. As we are doing that, don't just wait for the 15th. Make sure that when we hit the 15th, set a goal in your mind. I'm going to get 18 listings up. I'm going to every day, and I'm going to get X number of sales on my eBay side. I'm going to get some products up on Amazon. I'm going to go out and get at least 2 sales generated. I'm going to generate 400 BB this week so I can qualify for these things. You have to set some goals like that. You already have what you need to achieve that. Okay, you have what you need. Now there is a whole bunch of stuff you're going to get, especially from this partner webinar that's coming up. You're going to get a whole lot of things that are going to get you to that point so much more easily. But don't just wait. Don't just sit. Don't just talk. Let's just get something done. If you don't do that, it's not going to happen. Kevin is one of the great examples out there. He doesn't need to be out there running pay-per-click campaigns. He does it because his attitude is, I'm going to go do something and I'm going to figure it out. And I'm going to be successful with it. And that's what he does. So it's just a really, really great thing to watch him in action, to watch him teach this stuff. I hope he rubs off on everybody on this, not literally. I hope everybody learns something.
Not literally.
Yeah. You're not coming to our events, Kevin. We are just overall excited about where we are. We have tremendous numbers, tremendous success. Nothing competes and compares to this model whatsoever. I can tell everybody's excited. We've had 1,000 people on this call all the way through. It's been maxed out all the way through. And I know that that's going to be the case with every call going forward. And we're just going to build this out to be the premier e-commerce property in the world, the premier network marketing property in the world, all of those things. And there's just so much more we want to release and we want to put out there. But we just want to make sure you guys understand that. You have so much in here to be successful with. So many people are being successful and they're quiet. They're like ducks. And on the surface, nothing is happening, and under the water, they're just paddling like nuts. And they're making all sorts of money. And you just have to understand that that's what you have to develop as your attitude if you're going to be able to use the system appropriately. So I just want to put that out there. We have a tremendous new series that's been put out just for international members. It walks you through what your preferred pathway should be. It's in your back offices now. Go ahead and use that stuff. Give us your feedback. We will help you all that we can, but make sure you take action on it. Okay, so we've gone just about an hour. I think that's plenty. We've given you guys a lot of updates. Now, believe it or not, that's about half of the stuff that we have to cover. There's a lot more updates that you're going to hear about post 15th of January. Until then, I hope you all have great success. I hope you all follow the training. You learned something from Kevin today. I hope you start applying it right away, and make sure you're on the next webinar to hear more from him, learn from him, and of course from Ken, and as he presents that roadmap for you guys. You have a tremendous, tremendous source of knowledge right here between Kevin and Ken. Make sure that you actually use it. So Kevin, if you want to give the final closing for the night and wish everybody a good night without rubbing yourself on them, that would be great.
Physically impossible, Hitesh. Physically impossible. I'm in Japan. So I just want to say thank you guys one more time, and I'll see you're going to get an email that it's going to get kicked out. This recording will be in the back office ASAP, so all of your team can watch it. You can go revisit it, and the link to the partner webinar will be sent out. There'll be another schedule attached to that, and yeah, let's go out there and kill this thing. It's time to rock this thing up. So that's all I got. Night, guys. Happy New Year. For those of you that it's a couple of days old, but hey, it's 2016. Let's make some headway on your dreams. Let's change your life, and let's do it now. This is going to be phenomenal. You guys are in the right place. Trust me. Night, everybody.
Good night.